Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Jeff and today we are going to have some fun playing Magic. And what we're trying to do today is we are playing Blue Projection or Jace's Projection. So this is the card that we're building this entire deck around. So know that that's typically how I like to build my decks is okay, this is the card I want to play with. What's the best shell that I can put it in? And I do think that this is there's a few other ways I could have gone with this, like a bunch of planeswalkers with Jace's Projection. You could maybe go gates with this and have lots of card draw there as well, but I felt like mono blue is a really good spot for this one, as well as I wanted to make sure I use its second ability. So first off, it's 4 converted mana cost. Whenever you draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter onto Jace's Projection. So if we are playing this in the right shell, this can be a 4 mana. By the time it swings in on turn 5, it can be a 6/6, which I did that pretty consistently so far with this deck. And then the next turn it's a 9/9, and because we have so much protection in blue with, you know, our counter spells with Siren Storm Tamer and different things that we have here, it's almost like a Nullhide Ferox that doesn't have the downside of not letting us play non-creature spells as long as it survives the first turn. So that is the biggest issue with Jace's Projection, is that it is a 4 mana 2/2 and it dies to a shock or whatever pretty quickly unless we can do it. So what we're wanting to do with this is play it on turn 4 if we can. Already have a couple Curious Obsessions onto a Mistcloak Herald or Siren Storm Tamer. Swing in, get some card draw going, grow this to be a big boy right away. Maybe have a Jace's Cunning Castaway out so that we draw another card whenever we do damage with a creature. And Jace Wielder Mysteries can just always draw us cards and do some really fun stuff. And then we have Jace's Triumph, because if we have other Jace Planeswalkers out, then we end up drawing 3 cards and just put tons of power onto Jace's Projection. So again, we're focusing all on making sure that we actually do the best we can with Jace's Projection with this deck. And then we have Tempest Djinns, everything else that we would play in a mono blue deck, because it's a really good shell for Jace's Projection. Anyway, so I'm saying all that so you guys don't hate me for playing mono blue. Okay. Anyway, so let's go ahead and get into the gameplay, see how this goes, and wish me luck.
Before we jump into the gameplay, a quick thanks to Fusion Gaming for sponsoring this video. Be sure to head over to FusionGamingOnline.com for all your Magic the Gathering needs. Check the link in the description below.
All right, up against Manio Spas, and let's see how this deck does. A little bit of an interesting opening hand. In fact, we need to mulligan that. This is better. We have Trickster on turn 2 at least. Keep it with land on top. Yeah. So Island past the turn. I mean, it would have been nice to have something else, but we wouldn't have been able to play it on turn 1 anyway. So land definitely good. So land past the turn. We're gonna Trickster for any creature that they have and Curious Possession in. Or maybe just bring down a Djinn. A 3/4 blocker or thing they have to answer is not bad. All right, so Trickster in. Now let's see. Let's see what we draw into. All right, so we have the Wizard's Retort. So now we can Curious Obsession and still hold up a counter. All right, swing in for 3. Draw a card. Land's not bad. Tempest Djinn gonna be even better. We'd like to still be able to hold up this Retort. If Jade Light Ranger comes down, okay, there we go. All right, so Island, let's have Spell Pierce now. Let's try for Jace Cunning Castaway. Because we have the Spell Pierce, and that's the only thing we're really worried about. I guess a Ravenous Chupacabra can be really annoying next turn. So tick up, swing in. It will take a beat from the Branch Walker, but that's fine. We want to put this after the Trickster, so we have more options. So draw here. Let's get rid of... I guess it's the Island. I think Quench can still be useful here, especially because this deck is typically playing multiple things in a turn. So get rid of the Island, and... we'd already played a land, so it wouldn't have given us value to get to the Wizard's Retort. We're really hoping there's not a Ravenous Chupacabra coming down. Ritual of Sut. Okay, we will Spell Pierce. All right, perfect. And now we want to find a land for Tempest Djinn and counter. That's fine. We got all the value that we wanted out of that. So there's a land. Perfect. And now we will tick up again.
There's always an answer.
And next, swing in. This after. Take action. Storm Tamer and Mistcloak Herald. So let's just play... Oh, wait, no. Discard a card. It doesn't let me stop discarding it once I click on it. Oh, my gosh. I forgot about the discard portion of that. All right. Mistcloak Herald. And let's pass the turn. I want to hold up both Wizard's Retort and Quench here. We're fine trading off with the Branch Walker. Man, we got rid of the Tempest Djinn. That was annoying. I meant to play it afterwards, and I forgot about the discard. I know, everyone gets angry at me for having misplays all the time. Well, I guess we're okay with this coming down to 1. It doesn't really bother us right now. Okay, down to 1.
This one I will remember.
And we're just going to keep holding up counters. Oh man, Jace's projection is good, but we cannot hold up any protection at all. So let's get down Siren Storm Tamer. Okay, so we will quench that. And still have up the retort. And another counter. Tick up. And opponent scoops up. There we go. Alright, not too shabby at all. Except for my major misplay, but we still held on to all the important pieces there. That would have just increased the clock, but still not a bad play. Alright, up against Insight. Bring it on, Insight 47. And yeah, I mean, this is very similar to the last hand, so we're going to keep it. And I like it a lot. All right, so Island, pass the turn. I like being on the play here as well. Very good. So pass the turn. Bring down Merfolk Trickster into Curious Obsession. We have the Spell Pierce available. Thought Erasure. I guess we just Spell Pierce that. And... let's bring down a Tempest Djinn. I'm hoping that they don't have removal, they just have more hand disruption. And I'd rather get down a Tempest Djinn as early as possible. All right, let's get rid of the Wielder of Mysteries. It's really not as important of a card in our deck. All right, so Curious Obsession onto Tempest Djinn. It's a 5/5. Do we want to bring down Jace as well? Merfolk Trickster doesn't help a ton, and this at least lets us kind of refill our hand a bit more. So let's tick up. We do have to discard one of these cards, but we get to draw a couple. So take action, Spell Pierce, and Quench. I guess it's Spell Pierce here. I do feel like at this point we can get more value out of Quench than just the Spell Pierce. The 1 mana does change things a lot, but everything that we know right now... Okay, Jace's projection is really fun, but we need to hold up protection. Are we just never going to play it because we always need to hold up protection? Here, let's tick up, see if they have any kind of response here. It didn't seem like it. Okay, we came to play Jace's projection. I don't think it's the best play here. Okay, there's a Sinister Sabotage. All right. And swing in, try to refill our hand a little more. Brings back the Disinformation Campaign. That's fine. But now we no longer have protection for our Djinn. But I wanted to play it just for the fun of it. And Mistcloak Herald. It's no longer as good as just playing some of this other stuff. All right, so Ingrath. Takes control of Tempest Djinn, and then it's going to be sacrificed. Good play. They don't have islands, though, so I think they misread that a little bit. Although we do stay off of our ultimate now. All right, so island. We will just tick up here and pass the turn. Bring down Merfolk Trickster on end step, kill Angrath, and then start going face. Hopefully making a copy of Dispersal. Spell Pierce. Makes us discard a card. Yeah, we need to bring down Trickster, so get rid of Quench. And we are definitely going to ultimate Jace here. Okay, bring down Siren Storm Tamer. Do we want to neg 2 on each of these? Because whenever it does combat damage to a player, not a planeswalker. So we're going to hit a planeswalker. So let's just neg 2 on each of these. It's a little bit awkward, but it gives us... We can actually maybe go lethal for next turn. Although Angrath could take control. No, that's if they had neg 3. Maybe we should have just gone face there. I think that was probably the better play. Disinformation campaign, trying to find an answer. And we're just hoping they didn't really have a Ritualist set. All right, so gets an illusion. It's fine. All right, so now we can kind of filter our draws a little bit more. So let's tick up.
Let's think this.
We have to hold on to an island so we can decide what we want to draw here. Mobilized District is good, so discard this one. And the island. All right, so Mobilized District. It gives us lethal even after a board wipe next turn, so pass the turn. That's actually really amazing. Luckily, unfortunately, these aren't legendary, but of course it wouldn't work that way. But Mobilized District, actually probably the best card we could have gotten right there. Thought Erasure, trying to dig for an answer. We could have stopped it with the Siren Storm Tamer, but yeah, okay, opponent scoops it up. Unfortunately, the Jace's projection did not come out again, but we still did good things. All right, up against Woo Boy. Bring it on, Woo Boy. And let's see how this does. We have the Quench for turn 2. We're going to keep this. We're just going to kind of slow them down for a while and hopefully get to something good along the way. We are on the draw. Merfolk. Okay. Brings out a Cumena Speaker. And pass the turn. Quench is a little bit awkward on the draw. And maybe that is the biggest issue with Quench in general. Alright, so plays land tapped. So that means just another 1-drop Jade Bearer. Alright, so they do have 3 power, 4 power on the board. So let's see here. We'll pass the turn. We might just Trickster in to get Jade Bearer, put Curious Obsession on and swing in. Let's see what they play. If it's a Deep Root Elite, we definitely need to kill it. Cumena would be important to kill. That's also important to kill. So quench that. And take our beats down to 13. Island, pass the turn. Jace Cunning Castaway isn't quite good enough here. And we're just wanting to, I guess, quench again. I could trade off the Trickster with the Cumena Speaker by getting rid of its ability as it swings in. Looks like they're digging for land here. Man. We take 4 again. Yeah. I mean, next turn we can get out Jace's projection and It's just going to get bigger and bigger as a really big blocker, and it might be fast enough. All right, down to 9. We have Wizard's Retort. All right, so now we can Trickster and kill something. So, yeah, so let's pass the turn. If we find a land for next turn, we can Jace's Projection, Curious Obsession, draw some more cards, and hopefully get him big enough. All right, so let's Trickster, tap down Speaker, and Retort. And man, they're stuck on one land, and that is amazing. All right, let's Jace's Projection, swing in. I guess we hold. Well, swing in. We're basically going to take our beats no matter what here. So swing in, get some damage while we can. Maybe they trade off with the Jade Bearer, but yeah. Trickster might have been worth holding on to there, but we're basically just trying to survive until Jace's Projection gets bigger. Next turn we can Curious Obsession. If they do try to swing a little bit more all out, Trickster gets better, having swung in there. Alright, so they do find a Deeper Delete. It's annoying. Swings in for 3, no blocks. Okay, so we get... Alright, so this lets us hold up everything. We can at least dodge a sleep now. Alright, Curious Obsession onto Trickster. And let's actually take down. I don't think that they're going to let us go through. I'm pretty sure Jade Bearer eats this here. So create another blocker so that we can swing in and not have to block with Jace's Projection. Yeah, so they just chump block. And we can at least stop a sleep or couple things here. And as long as this Jace's Projection gets bigger, we're gonna be in decent shape. Humana. Uh-oh. Humana's not good. They're probably just gonna hold up and draw a card next turn. Trying to find more lands, I'm assuming. All right, draw a card. It's a little bit bigger. We're gonna have to swing with something so that Trickster survives. A Siren Storm Tamer, or so that we can keep the Curious Obsession. But we can't swing it because of Humana. We might try to swing. So tick up with Jace.
There is always an answer.
If they can double block here and here with Humana, keep Deeper Delete. Is it worth getting rid of this Curious Obsession? Let's just pass the turn. I don't think that we can... They have good enough blocks here. Maybe not. I don't know. Because now they do have Humana. Humana can swing in the next 2 turns without us being able to block it. So maybe we needed to be a bit more aggressive. A lot of people do forget the first ability on Humana, just using the other ones, and so I'm hoping that he forgets it here. But he can definitely just tap down a Merfolk and swing in 2 turns and kill us. If he gets enough Merfolk down this turn, he can also probably kill us this turn. So we'll see if he has it. Yeah, it grows him. Now we can't really block easily. Biomancer grows Cumena. Yeah, it looks like he's got it. I mean, if he had another Merfolk here, he had lethal. I guess, yeah. Would have had lethal. All right, incubation. Digging for a Merfolk. If he finds a 1-drop, I guess we are not dead now. We could still be. He would have to tap 6 altogether, so no. He could have put counters onto everything and tapped something down, but not quite enough there. Spell Pierce looking very dead in our hand against this deck. We're just going to put a counter onto Jace. That's pretty much all we can do. Let's see if he... Hey, doesn't swing in this turn. All right, cool. All right, use the ability onto a Jace Planeswalker that we have. Get a counter. And man, we would love to find some... Jace's Triumph. We do have lots of those in our deck. Let's tick up.
It's a matter of give and take.
Swing in with Siren Stormtamer. Filter our draw a little bit here. They're going to put counters onto all of their Merfolk, and we now no longer have enough blockers to stop everything. We do grow projection, though. Discard. All right, that gives us another blocker. And pass the turn. Mana puts counters on everything. Benthic Biomancer gets to find something. Trickster can come down and tap down a creature. Our best creature. And I mean, we already know we're dead with the Cumena on next turn with Merfolk Trickster. So I guess we just concede here. Even though he actually had the play, I think, to win last time, he didn't play it. But that was still a good game. All right, up against Lettel. Bring it on, Lettel. And man, I feel like I always get my best games when I'm not recording. I played this one last night, and I got like the perfect setups. We're going to keep this. We have Quench, Jace's Triumph to kind of refill. Mystical Carol's a little bit awkward by itself without any actual value or the Curious Obsession. But Quench is decent. Alright, so Shocks now. That means nothing else really important is coming out this turn. Opt, okay. And play the island past the turn. Mobilize District is a card that we want, like, once we already have 4 lands down. I guess we quench this. We have Wizard's Retort for the next turn. Quench becomes a lot worse after a while. And it's basically 2-mana discard. We got rid of a way for them to draw cards. This is sorcery speed. Well, we're going to pass the turn. We still want to hold up Wizard's Retort. And we're hoping to hit a Wilderness Reclamation. There we go. Definitely retorting that. Done been retorted, my friend. Island and pass the turn. Next turn we can Jace's Triumph and maybe hold up Quench still. We shall see. Alright, opponent passes. Okay, Mobilize District. Jace's Triumph. All of the pieces that aren't helping us right now. Okay, resolve. Crash through, draws more cards. That's fine. Filling up their graveyard. So this is feeling like a Phoenix deck. Or a Drake deck. Run it out. Whatever you've got. Pirate's Pillage. We will quench that. Absolutely. That leaves them with one card here. That's pretty devastating. Do we go for Mobilize District or just hold up the Retort? I guess we just pass the turn. Hold up Wizard's Retort. Ops, that's fine. As long as we get rid of anything that's actually good. So this is actually a... I'm thinking this is a 1,000-Year Storm deck then? With Wilderness Reclamation, which makes it really fun. You can play a lot of things on the turn. Finale of Promise. We will retort that. Just not letting him have any value. That would have drawn them 2 cards. More things in hand. Well, we have nothing else we can do now, unfortunately. Maybe I should have waited until they played something important. So I believe the Curious Obsessions get removed after this, but I think we need to try to find some card draws. I'm going to only play 1 here. I'm pretty sure that it doesn't actually work. All right, they have the Lightning Strike. All right. All right, now it's just a top deck game. They had Lightning Strike left in hand. Probably a lot of burn in this deck that really doesn't matter at all. And we found a lot of things that do absolutely nothing. Spell Pierce. All right. Well, I mean, if they're going to do a big expansion explosion, this might be useful. Plays it tapped, so nothing now. All right. Mistcloak Herald. Pretty good. Can't play Curious Obsessions till next turn. Pass the turn. Probably just gets shocked here. Lightning Strike, yep. Resolves. That's cool. Another Spell Pierce. I mean, 2 Spell Pierce better than 1. Could let us actually counter something if we need to. Jace's Projection. There we go. All right, so Jace. Go for it. Pass the turn. If they have more removal, we can't really do anything about it this turn. Shock. Yeah, double Spell Pierce still kills it, so... That's the issue with Jace's Projection, is that it does still die to that. All right. Chart a Course. Draws 2, discards 1. More lands. Maybe Syncopate wouldn't be terrible in this deck. Might be a little bit better than a Quench. Pirate's Pillage. I guess we let that resolve. Growth Spiral, resolve. All of the card draw isn't as important as making sure we get rid of the main thing they're playing. The issue is that they're going to have lots of mana next turn to protect it here. Another Jace's Projection. If this survives with the Curious Obsessions next turn, it's going to get really big really quick. Let's just pray that it works. Cross your fingers for me, guys. They've spent a lot of burn. I can't see how this deck can run much more burn than this. Expansion. Spell Pierce. So they can pay 2, and then we can do it again. What's this for? Come on, I want to see this card. I can't see the X. All right, X4. Yeah, so double Spell Pierce. They don't get to draw 4 cards. That's the important part. If they have another removal for Jace, actually, wait, we get to have a turn now. All right, here we go. So Curious Obsession. And another Curious Obsession. So Jace's Projection did win the game for us. We would have been able to draw 2 more cards. It would have become because it had Curious Obsessions, it would have been a 7/7. Very difficult for them to deal with at that point because it didn't look like they had bounce spells. So Jace's Projection did win for us, although we didn't get to play it out, unfortunately. But that was really fun. All right, so we did get to see the weaknesses and the strengths of Jace's Projection. I think it's a really fun card. I think that it's a card that you probably want to play more in like a budget commander slot, but it is still a fun card, and I think that it did well in this deck, where once we had a card draw engine going on, we had some things. The thing I kind of noticed, though, is that it didn't really replace any other card that it would have taken us. Like, there's a lot of cards that could take its slot and still be just as functional. It is a really fun, big card that anyway, I think this card can be really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please leave down in the comments below where you guys think the best place for Jace's Projection could be. If you guys like this shell, if it was a good deck overall. I know I made a couple misplays, but overall, super fun deck. And please like, subscribe, all that stuff, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks so much, and bye-bye.